When the camps were liberated, the world found out about the murder of millions. Most of the perpetrators had disappeared, but the victims bore witness.
I had been a liberator of many concentration camps as a soldier in the American armies. I had seen the product of mass murder in Buchenwald, in Ebensee, in Mauthausen. I certainly was shocked by that experience. I was traumatized by that experience, which has not left me to this day.
Images that went around the world. And the question was asked over and over, what kind of people are they who did that to other human beings? Dachau. The anger fell upon young guards who had to remain at their posts.
The most important characteristic that I looked for was men of education and intelligence. I didn't want to have as a defendant some poor soldier that was ordered to go out and commit some criminal act and didn't realize what he was doing.
Ich bin kein Sadist. Ich habe keinen geschlagen, noch nie. Noch nie. Ich bin kein Sadist, nein, niemals.
It was time for excuses.
Noch nie Sadist gewesen. Kenn ich nicht. Ich bin viel zu fein.
My reasoning was that if they were educated men, they would have been aware of the criminality and the magnitude of the crimes they were committing.
Nuremberg, 1947. The heads of the Einsatzgruppen were now on trial. They were responsible for more than 1 million deaths.
Guilty or not guilty?
Nicht schuldig.
Guilty or not guilty?
Nicht schuldig.
Guilty or not guilty?
Nicht schuldig.
They certainly were murderers, but not the traditional type of murderer. They were not sadistic, habitual criminals. That they were not. Murderers they surely were. Murderers in spades, mass murderers on a scale never before seen in human history.
The figure 90,000.
Otto Ohlendorf, head of the Einsatzgruppen. The judges were astounded that he could speak of his crimes with utter indifference.
Ich kann nur wiederholen, was ich nunmehr seit 2,5 Jahren sage, dass nach meiner besten Erinnerung von den Einsatzkommandos 90.000 gemeldet waren. Es sind 90.000 gemeldet worden.
The biggest disappointment for me was the complete absence of remorse. I would have felt quite different about them if anyone had ever said he was sorry. They never said they were sorry because they were not sorry. They were sorry they lost the war.
Landsberg prison. In the Einsatzgruppen trial, the judges imposed 14 death sentences. 4 were carried out. To the very end, not one of the condemned showed the slightest remorse. One of them wrote, "Discipline and loyalty have brought me to the gallows. To this day, I do not know how else I should have acted."
This was the tie which bound all of them. Opera singers, lawyers, economists, architects. Another thing they had in common, they were all prepared to commit mass murder for their ideals without any hesitation or any regret.
Dachau, where it all started. Senior members of the SS were now incarcerated where prisoners had been tortured and murdered for 12 years. Arthur Lieberhenschel professed his innocence.
Daher ist alles glatt gelaufen. Ich glaube, für jeden Menschen da. Das kann mir jeder Einzelne bestätigen, der einmal durchblickt. Ich habe aus Auschwitz ein Sanatorium gemacht, hört sich lächerlich an, aber das, was die Häftlinge sagen.
How does one deal with a man who spared inmates and planned concentration camps? He was tried in Krakow in Poland.
Er hat zum Schluss, das glaube ich, auch dann sich mit abgefunden, hat gewusst. Hat ja noch einen Abschiedsbrief geschrieben und unten steht dann drunter, eben bekomme ich mein Urteil, es lautet zum Tode. Tja.
Frankfurt, 1964. After decades of suppression, SS men from Auschwitz went on trial. One of them was Hans Stark.
Die Sitzung und Verhandlung des Schwurgerichts am Landgericht in Frankfurt am Main ist eröffnet.
Mein Bruder hat bis dahin auch seiner Frau, Familie gegenüber, kein Ton davon erwähnt, dass er in Auschwitz war und hat, als er damals in Köln verhaftet wurde, auf den fragenden Blick seiner Frau reagiert, indem er gesagt hat, das ist wegen einer Sache aus dem Krieg.
The war matter was at least 44 cases of personally committed murder. Hans Stark denied it.
Ich bestreite die vorgebrachten Belastungen. Im Block 11 war ich ebenfalls nicht bei Massenerschießungen weder anwesend, noch habe ich dabei mitgeschossen. Auch habe ich niemals eine Frau geschlagen.
Ich kann vor allen Dingen nicht billigen, dass er nicht einsehen wollte, was da eigentlich geschehen ist, was er also mit verursacht hat.
Hans Stark was sentenced to 10 years in prison under juvenile law. When he served in Auschwitz, the accused had still been a minor. A child of his time.
Führerbefehl, wir folgen dir, kann nach Auschwitz führen. Führerbewusstsein darf man nicht akzeptieren. Blinde Unterordnung unter Führer darf man nicht als sein Tendenz sehen. Der Mensch muss Verantwortung tragen für das, was er macht. Auch in kritischen Situationen. Das ist etwas, was auch für heute gilt.